Something is seriously wrong with Puppy from Love After Lockup. Oh my god, you guys, this is serious, this is sad, and this is just unbelievable. Puppy from Love After Lockup, she has now been out of jail for some time. She's been on the show. She's been trying to make a relationship work with Amber, and that's obviously not been working because we all know Amber is like dating a guy that's just getting out of jail right now, but more on that in a couple minutes. First, we have to talk about Puppy because holy crap, have you guys seen her? There is Puppy. You know how Puppy used to look when she got out of jail. She was a normal weight, whatever. Now, let's look at Puppy right there, and that is the best picture I can find, but oh my god, she lost so much weight. And there's another one for you to check out too. I mean, this, really, seriously, this is in a span of just a couple weeks, maybe a couple months at absolute most, but even, I mean, it cannot be more than 2 or 3 months at most. And just like that, she went from one to the other, and for me, from my perspective, if I had to guess, we do know that Puppy used to use. She was on a lot of different god-awful things, and if I had to guess, if I was a gambling man myself, I would say, ooh, she's probably back on something, and I hate to say that, I hate to make that, assumption, but you cannot lose that much weight without doing something, without being on something. And so, in the last episode of Love After Lockup, Amber saw her, and Amber's mom was in town, and everyone was just like, okay, you lost so much weight. What is going on? And she claims that she's doing a lot of partying, she's drinking a lot, which, yes, she is right. That's not, illegal or anything, but she was saying that's why she lost so much weight. But even Amber was like, I don't think she's using me. You could just see Amber was like, oh my god, she's up to no good for sure. You cannot lose that much weight without being on something. So comment below what you guys think, but oh my god, I cannot believe it. I feel bad for her, and honestly, I feel like she's gonna go right down that same track again, and just, it's not gonna work well for her, but I could be wrong. We're gonna have to wait and see, but oh my god, you guys, she does not look healthy. But comment below what y'all think. And speaking on Love After Lockup and Amber and Puppy, like I said, we gotta see them together. Amber's mom was in town on the episode, and they're all just kind of concerned about Puppy, and now Amber is starting to kind of get frustrated with Puppy because it's like, you know what? Puppy is doing way too much partying. She's not taking her life serious, and Puppy asked Amber to go and get married in Vegas. So Puppy's just all, I honestly, you guys, like I said earlier, I think she's just on something. She's not making much sense. Her clothes are all messed up and not on right, and I just think she's really, really, really struggling with something and just likely on something. So I feel bad for her. But Amber's mom was in town. She seems to be doing well, I guess, enough. Amber's doing really well. However, her man Sammy just got out of jail, and so now she's trying to kind of juggle, well, I have Puppy, I have this new guy Sammy, and she's really in a very sticky, not so good situation. And then we got to see John and Christiana. Oh my god, this is unbelievable. Okay, we all know John and Christiana. Christiana just got out of jail. Woohoo, we're all happy, aren't we? Well, no, not really so much, because this is what went down. Christiana's sister Tara was living with John, and then because, I think because all the stay-at-home order, I believe, with everything going on in the world, Christiana, I guess, cannot go to a halfway house. I don't know if that was why, but for whatever reason, she could not go to a halfway house, and she could go right to John's house, which is great, fantastic. And so that's what she does. However, because she does not go to a halfway house, she cannot live with someone with an open record, and Christiana's sister Tara has an open record, so they can't live together. Now, this is when things kind of got weird, because when they were living together, when John and Tara were living together, because Tara and, Christiana's mom were all living with John, and when that happened, Tara and John got real close. Nothing ever went down, I don't think, at least not on camera, but they definitely did get pretty freaking close. And so that is when it was just like, ooh, this is kind of weird, kind of awkward. John claimed he was never going to tell Christiana, but however, when, Christiana comes home, she ends up going out with her mom, and then that is when the mom just says, look, 2 things are going on. She goes, number 1, John is just doing something weird. She, word for word, said the guy is very weird. She goes, he's buying stuff like crazy, and she was like, I don't even know, he doesn't have that kind of a good of a job. I believe he might work in like a factory of sorts, because Christiana said he's working double shifts, which I could only assume maybe some kind of a factory labor job. I have no idea. But he was like, he's working double shifts, so Christiana was like, it should kind of make somewhat of sense, but she goes, no. He has several cars. He just bought a freaking boat. Like, it does not make any sense how this guy has so much money. And we also have to remember, too, John has this criminal past of, I think, writing, fake checks and stuff. And so she's like, I don't think he's up to anything good. This is really concerning, and I think you should really kind of talk to him to see what is going on. And also, she said, your sister and John got really freaking close. And then that's what Christiana was like, well, did they do, the deed? And of course, she goes, I have no idea. I could just hear that they were talking super late at night, and it didn't sound very good. And I don't think that they did, but I think, don't get me wrong. John even said, he goes, I've cheated on every single one of his wives, and he's been married like 5 times. So I wouldn't be shocked if he did. But I don't think they did, but I wouldn't be shocked. But either way, Christiana ended up saying, she goes, oh, and when I heard that, I was like, oh, she's gonna be devastated. But then she ended up talking to us and like in a confessional type thing, and she goes, oh, well, I'm not very shocked if she did, because it's probably revenge. And I was like, revenge for what? And she goes, because I got with Tara's baby daddy. And I was like, oh my God, are you kidding? I mean, are you freaking kidding me? And just to reiterate that one last time, Christiana said that she was romantic with Tara, her sister's baby daddy, and that is just a freaking line. It's one thing, and not even one thing, honestly, none of this is acceptable or normal at all, but it's kind of one thing to be with a guy if you're Tara, because they, John and Christiana were never really together. They've been dating long distance. She's been in jail, he's been at home. They were together for like one night, and and now Tara's been living with John for like 9 months, so I don't understand it at all, but I can kind of understand the idea of why and what and how the feelings developed and all that kind of jazz. But, I mean, if you're trying to tell me that Tara had a kid with a guy and Christiana got in the middle of it and ended up being with the guy she had a kid with, I mean, that is just flat out wrong and disgusting and unbelievable. So I can't believe that. I am at a loss for words, and now I'm starting to understand why Tara Bell was doing the thing she was starting to do. The thing I can't understand is how on earth did Christiana and Tara Bell have any bit of a normal relationship? Because wouldn't they, not be able to stand each other? So that's insane. That is freaking just crazy. And a little bit more on them. We did get to meet some of John's kids. They ended up meeting Christiana. It was awkward. It was just weird, honestly. And John's, I think, oldest daughter that is living with him, she's like 17, 18 years old. She goes, there's no way they're going to work. And honestly, you know what? If I was in her shoes, and if my dad, John, was married 5 times, now like 6 times, I probably wouldn't think it was going to work either. So I don't blame her. Very awkward. I think Christiana, I thought at least, meant well. But now hearing that she was with her sister's baby daddy, I'm kind of like, ooh, maybe she doesn't. But yeah, we got to meet them. It was awkward, cringy. And then Christiana even opened up and said that she actually has like a son who she lost complete custody of. And I think the guy's like, 17, 18 years old too, because I think she lost custody of him like years and years and years ago. So very crazy, a lot of drama, and I don't know what is going to go down with these two. And we thought that, she was actually expecting a baby, but I don't know if that's actually true. I've heard rumors now that she might have just gained some weight and that she's not actually expecting a baby. So not totally sure what is going on with that, but I can tell you one thing, John and Christiana are definitely trying to get a baby. And I am super, 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 super curious if John is actually, like writing fake checks again and stuff like that, because he definitely has a lot of stuff, and I'm curious if that is true. But either way, more on them later. Now I want to talk about one of the dumbest freaking, still dumb, nothing's changed, this is still so stupid, and that would be John, Lacey, and Shane, because guess what? We got to see John again. And John, he finally figured out that Lacey did in fact call the cops on him when he went to jail the last time. The last out of the 200 times, the last time he went there, yeah, she called the cops on him. Shocker. And he was heartbroken. He was devastated. He was so sad. And so he was writing her a letter to say goodbye, and then he's the closure, and he's done with her. And it's, the only thing I can say about these two is one thing. If you're so in love with her, John, who was the guy that had all these freaking kids with her in this meantime? Because supposedly John and Lacey met when they were in high school, I believe. Okay, well, in between now and then, she has, I want to say 3 kids with a guy that is not John. So my question still remains, where were you when all this stuff was going on? And that is why I still stand here confidently and say this whole thing is freaking fake, and I think they just begged John to come on the show for some drama, and finally, I think John is going to turn the corner, close the book, and realize that he has no business being with her, because he wrote this stupid letter for her saying, okay, we're done, I'm done with you, and then he was going to go and give it to her. And then, of course, while he was driving to go to give it to her, we got to see Shane was walking around his house all cat. This is so stupid and fake. But then he ended up turning around, and he was going to go meet up with a friend, and the friend who I think he's kind of been there for him and whatnot, and they ended up kind of talking it out, and the friend said the smartest thing a friend could ever ever say to John? And the friend just said, hey, if this woman got with Shane while you were still with her when you were in prison, you don't want anything to do with her. That's not a woman you want to marry. And that's it. That's the truth. That's the reality. And now move on with your life. And it goes back to my point. If you have been with her so long, why didn't you have kids with her? Why? Who was the guy that did have kids with her? It's like, it doesn't make any sense. I don't think it's even true, and just a bunch of fake, annoying drama. And just when we thought Michael and Sarah were on better terms, Michael disappears again. Shocker. You know, we got to see Michael and Sarah. Michael has been living with Sarah. They have been romantic for sure. She is now done with Michael, and she ended up, not Michael, she ended up calling him Malcolm. So Malcolm, the guy that was with her, which I thought was completely fake, Malcolm was with her, and then she ended up ending it with him, but he honestly kind of ended it with her more. He did end it with her. Let's be real. It was kind of a mutual, but it really wasn't that mutual. He ended it with her because he was like, why are you living with Michael? That is not good. I don't believe you. Not cool. So he ended it with her. She was still living with Michael. She was happy. The kids were happy. And what does Michael do? Michael runs off to God knows where. Now, I have no idea where he's going to go. He claims that he's going to Flint, Michigan to go see some family, and that might be true, but I have heard a rumor that actually he's going to Flint, Michigan to meet up with a lady friend. So it's just Michael, he won't stop. He can't stop. He is a complete liar. And we do not now know in present day that he ends up going back down to Florida and he gets in some trouble and ends up back in jail. I believe he gets bailed out though, but either way, you know, Sarah and Michael, this whole stupid thing, how he was living with her, I don't think it's going to last much longer, to be honest. And I think it's a complete freaking joke. And I think they're a god-awful, ridiculous couple. And Michael, I'm sorry, I know this is probably rude, but he is just a ridiculous person. And last but not least, we got to see Chevelle and Kweilyn, and yeah, they're, you know, I don't wish these two well as a couple anymore. I've drawn my line. I like Kweilyn a lot. I don't know why, and it's probably just the idiot in me. I think he's a nice, funny, cool guy. I think he'd be a great guy to go hang out with, go eat some, you know, go out, go watch a football game with. Like, he's a funny, cool guy. I like him. I'm probably an idiot, though, because he is probably honestly cheating on her. I'm sorry. I hate to go there, but that's probably the truth. But what went down was we got to see Kweilyn propose to Chevelle. She said yes. Then they were still out in this, you know, amusement park town, and D-Mark, her cousin, was there, and D-Mark hates Kweilyn. So of course they were mad. They ended up getting a little bit physical. When I say they, I mean D-Mark and Kweilyn. And then they ended up having to drive back to their town together because they only drove one car. So it was a very, 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 very awkward ride. They kind of hashed things out, but not really. They can't stand each other. But now, you know, hey, you know, Kweilyn and Chevelle, they're getting married supposedly. And I don't believe it. I think it is stupid. I think it is kind of ridiculous. And the worst thing is that, look, Kweilyn's mom hates Chevelle, and Chevelle's mom hates Kweilyn. That is basically the deal. And so they're kind of in this middle, and it's just not going to work. I have never, rarely ever do you see a couple where both families hate each other so much like this, and they end up working. But I feel bad. I do like Chevelle, but the problem I have with Chevelle is this. After she got engaged, she goes, I want to get married in 30 days. And it's like, why? Why? And I think she wants to because she has trust issues that he'll maybe run off, or he'll go meet another woman. And it's like, if you want to get married to someone in 30 days because you have trust issues, you probably shouldn't be getting married. So I am just at a loss. I think this is so stupid. And I mean, I like them as people. I like Kweilyn. I think Chevelle's amazing. Great mom. She's a moneymaker, I guess, because she has a great house, a nice car. She's smart. She's a hard worker. I like her. I just don't think it's a Kweilyn. I'm sorry. And I honestly have a pretty big hunch he's cheating on her, because if he has not been romantic with her and he is a man, he's probably doing it with someone else. I'm sorry, girl. He's a good-looking guy, though, and I don't believe it. So either way, Chevelle and Kweilyn, they are at this time engaged. I don't think it's going to last much longer, but they are engaged, and both their families are very, very, very upset. So Love After Lockup, we did not get to see Sean and Destiny. I think we're going to see more of them pretty soon, though, and we did not get to see any of the other couples that I like to see, typically like Brittany and everyone else. So I don't know. They were not on this episode. Boo-hoo. Kind of sad. But anyway, Love After Lockup, guys. Pretty good episode. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the comments below. Let me know what you guys think of the last episode of Love After Lockup. And also, please hit those likes, hit the comments below, hit the subscribe or follow button, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.